Clever phrases people use to manipulate conversations. Engaging in manipulative speech is a harmful way to communicate feelings or needs. It's important to be aware of these 9 expressions, their hidden intentions, and how to assertively respond to avoid conflict. 1. That's not what I said. This statement implies that you are distorting the truth or lying about the original message. People who use this phrase are trying to deceive and manipulate you, fully aware of what they actually said. They may even go as far as saying, "You're imagining things," suggesting that you are dishonest or misunderstanding their words. This tactic aims to undermine your ability to listen, interpret, or understand. Make it clear that you heard correctly and refuse to engage in a conversation with someone who denies their own words and tries to belittle you. If you need to continue the discussion with them, let them know that you are willing to revisit it once they can take responsibility for their statements. 2. You shouldn't feel that way. When someone tells you how you should feel, they are attempting to control your emotions and invalidate your feelings. It dismisses your emotions as if they are unimportant. If you are someone who speaks their mind, you might respond with a firm, "How dare you?" However, if you are shy or struggle to assert yourself, you may accept this manipulation. Take a stand immediately when someone tries to dictate your emotions. Calmly inform the person that you have the right to process your feelings in your own way. If they insist that your emotions are inappropriate, consider disengaging from the conversation. By setting this boundary, you communicate that you will not tolerate being manipulated and you will feel empowered for standing up against it. 3. You're overreacting. This phrase is used to belittle your feelings and silence you. It aims to divert attention from the other person's wrongdoing by portraying you as unreasonable and emotionally unstable. Accusing you of overreacting is a tactic to control your behavior or shame you, especially when you are holding them accountable or establishing boundaries. Not only is this manipulative and controlling, but it also puts you on the defensive. You should not have to defend yourself to someone who negatively labels your reactions. In response, calmly express, "I feel misunderstood when you say I'm overreacting. It seems like my needs or feelings are not important." Then, reiterate your boundary or need. If the person genuinely cares about you, they may apologize. Otherwise, it is worth reconsidering your relationship with them. "You are responsible for my actions." This is a classic sentence used by individuals who refuse to take ownership of their behavior. It is commonly used by narcissists to shift the blame onto you and make you feel like the villain instead of the victim. It is unfair for someone to claim that you made them do something. While we can influence others, we cannot control their actions like puppets. Every adult is solely responsible for their choices, actions, and the consequences that come with them. Remind the person that they are accountable for their own behavior, and that you will not be used as a scapegoat. Make it clear that you are aware of their blame-shifting tactics and that their refusal to take responsibility is their own issue. 5. I already said sorry. What else do you want? People often say this with a tone of annoyance or disgust. What they are really saying is, "You are being unreasonable by expecting more from me after I apologized." Apologizing should be enough to make up for any wrongdoing that has upset or hurt you. They may even go as far as saying, "Now, you're overreacting." Sometimes, the apology is not sincere. They say sorry just to brush the situation aside and avoid any further confrontation. They want you to know that they will not offer any emotional support after they apologize. Explain to the person that you are still hurting and that you would appreciate empathy from them instead of annoyance. A caring individual who is not trying to manipulate you would say something like, "I'm sorry I hurt you, and I understand that you are still hurting. What can I do to make you feel better?" 6. You're too sensitive. When someone says this, they are implying that other people do not have a problem with their words or actions. They are suggesting that there is something wrong with you because you react differently. It is important to remember that sensitivity is not a flaw. Each person is unique and affected by words and situations in their own way. If you feel hurt, offended, or disrespected by someone's behavior, it is perfectly valid. Let the person know that you would appreciate it if they refrained from labeling or judging your personality. You can also express how their statement makes you feel and let them know that you are open to accepting their apology. If they refuse to consider your feelings or apologize, feel free to end the conversation or walk away. 7. If you loved me, you would do it. This statement is an attempt to make you prove your love by fulfilling their demands. They believe that appealing to your conscience will make you feel guilty for not doing whatever it takes to please them, even if it is harmful. People also use this tactic to test your loyalty to them or the relationship. If you are an empath or tend to people please, you may be more vulnerable to this manipulative expression. However, it is important not to fall for it. It is a common emotionally abusive tactic. You can respond to this guilt-tripping remark by assuring the person that you love them, if you do. Then, point out that testing your love with ultimatums can damage trust and the relationship. If you need assistance in saying no and setting boundaries, take a few minutes to watch the video below to learn 5 strategies you can use. 8. You're paranoid. Paranoia is a symptom of mental illnesses such as paranoid personality disorder, PPD, delusional disorder, and schizophrenia. Calling you paranoid is a gaslighting tactic similar to calling you delusional or crazy. Paranoid and crazy are the narcissist's pet names for people when you catch them lying or cheating. Like emotional abusers, they use these words skillfully to evade responsibility and make you question your own sanity. You can inform the person that you will not engage with them if they continue to call you offensive names. There's not much else you can say to convince chronic manipulators that they're being mean or childish for engaging in name-calling. They lack empathy and are unable to connect with your feelings. What's important is distancing yourself from anyone who makes you feel as if you're crazy. I was called paranoid, and it hurt my feelings because it came from someone I thought loved me. I responded to the offensive description by saying, "So now you're psychoanalyzing me." I didn't know you were a psychiatrist. Luckily, I know what emotional manipulation looks like. I didn't take the gaslighting bait or get in my feelings. Instead, I called him out and shut him down. 9. I don't like drama. When someone makes this statement or says, "You're being dramatic," it's an attempt to deflect attention away from their dramatic behavior and project it onto you. You'll likely hear this statement after you try to hold them accountable for misbehaving. They'll turn around and attempt to paint you as a toxic person or accuse you of wanting to start a fight. Interestingly, those who claim to not like drama are usually the ones who instigate conflict and are difficult people to get along with. Respond by letting the individual know it's an unfair statement that implies you want to create conflict. Assure them that you have no desire to be labeled negatively or baited into an unhealthy exchange. Walk away if the individual escalates their attack on your character. This will send a strong message that you're the one who doesn't like drama. These phrases can be subtle and manipulative, but being aware of them empowers you to respond assertively and maintain healthy boundaries. Remember, you have the right to communicate your needs and feelings without being manipulated or controlled. What is manipulation? Manipulation is a psychological strategy used to exert control over others. While most people engage in this behavior occasionally, there are some who intentionally manipulate others to shape their perception and reaction. These individuals manipulate others to fulfill their own needs, gain power, or boost their own egos. Manipulation can take various forms, either overt or passive, to influence someone's thoughts and actions. Examples include passive aggression, guilt-tripping, blame-shifting, gaslighting, denial, and lying. Other tactics involve creating codependency through trauma bonding, exploiting insecurities, withholding intimacy, instilling fear, or making threats of self-harm. Manipulators often use specific words or phrases to manipulate those close to them, such as partners, children, or co-workers. It can be challenging to recognize manipulation when it is subtle or when you are unaware of common manipulative tactics. What is manipulation? Manipulation is an unhealthy psychological tactic used to control how almost everyone engages in this behavior from time to time. But there are those who do it intentionally to influence another person's perception or reaction. Some people willfully manipulate others to get their needs met, gain control, or feed their egos. An overt or passive approach can be taken.